Hello everyone, Dan here from the SNDPODCAST. Unfortunately, Steve is unavailable to record this week. He's luckily at St. Martin's, chilling on the beach, probably sipping on some pina coladas. I know, don't worry, don't tell anybody, shh. Anyway, lucky him, great time to go out, New York right now, freezing. I'm sure he's having a lot of fun with his family. I figured I'd do a quick video blog, keep you updated with the New York sports right now. Tough day for any New York Mets fan, including myself and Steve. Unfortunately, Mike Piazza did not make the Hall of Fame again. It's kind of crazy how to think about how he doesn't make the Hall of Fame because of other players' allegations because of their cheating of steroids and everything like that. And at the same time, Frank Thomas makes the Hall of Fame. Not taking anything away from Frank Thomas, but if Frank Thomas makes it in Hall of Fame, where's Mike Piazza's do? So I think that's kind of crazy right now. He should be in the Hall of Fame. He's the greatest hitting catcher of all time, and everybody knows that. There isn't any allegations or anything for him to be a part of the process of him getting shafted the last 2 years. With that being said, congratulations to Greg Maddux and Tom Glavine. Tom Glavine was a Met for 5 years, so got to tip your hat to him. And you saw him firsthand. Granted, his key moment was a failure, but he was a good Met for a while, especially in 2006 when we relied on him to help us get to the playoffs. With that being said, Greg Maddux is also a stud. We all know where he's been in his whole career with the Cubs and Braves and everything like that. So, congratulations to those three great Hall of Famers. Now you can call them that. It's just, I still don't get why Piazza didn't make it. And not until he gets in, it's just the whole system is bogus. Just like how the BCS was with the whole voting and everything like that, and the Heisman Trophy voting and everything. There's always a lot of opinions and everything like that. But I just don't see how Piazza is tangled in with all the Roger Clemenses and the Sammy Sosas and the Mark McGuires and all those kind of players that were on the Mitchell Report, who were at Congress in 2005 when they lied, saying that they never took steroids and everything like that, and they were blatantly lied, and they came up in front and most of them said they did take steroids. When did Piazza ever have that? Never. So, hopefully Piazza gets his day. Hopefully next year. It's getting annoying. He should have been a first ballot Hall of Fame, just like most of these players. Baseball is all about cheating. If you look at the history books, there's always been some sort of something to change the game. Or some racism that prevented a race and creed to play. And I just find it very hypocritical that our generation of baseball is going to be affected by it. I know Pete Rose is not in the Hall of Fame, and he shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame. But there was nothing against steroids other than the morals of it not being healthy. There wasn't anything illegal at the time. So with that being said, of course people are going to try to do it. That pushed the limits. And they did, and they succeeded. So, with that being said, Piazza, who has never been on any inkling of him taking it, is just crazy. Like I said, Frank Thomas gets in, he should have gotten in with them. So there should have been 4 people. But it is what it is. I don't have a vote, so it doesn't matter. Excuse me. Let's talk about the better notes. The New York Knicks are finally winning. That's good to see. Especially with tomorrow night, they're playing the Miami Heat, big test. J.R. Smith got fined 50 G's for trying to untie Shawn Marion's, and I forgot who it was last night in the Detroit Pistons game. It's kind of crazy how you get fined 50 G's for doing something stupid like that. But that's these sports these days, that they can fine millionaires and it wouldn't hurt them at all. With that being said, I'm happy to see how the Knicks are playing right now. They're finally clicking all cylinders. That trip to Dallas, winning 2 out of 3, and the game that they lost, they only lost by 2 points. So you know that could have went either way. So you gotta be happy with what you see with that. Camelo's finally taken over, but Yanni's still playing good. Raymond Felton came on and played pretty well last night in key moments. That's what we've been missing. Having someone being able to penetrate through the hole and being able to dish it out. Getting that person back in Felton is very key, and hopefully we get going. I'm not expecting to win tomorrow night against Miami. Granted, ironically, I'm wearing a Miami shirt, but obviously that has nothing to do with the Heat. And the Knicks got to really dig down. Maybe they could steal a game. We normally play good against the Heat, but the Heat are the Heat. LeBron is the best player in the world, and he's just on a different planet and everything like that. We'll see what happens with that. And the Knicks are only half a game out of 8th place right now if the season ended right now. That's really scary to see, but that's how the Eastern Conference is shaping up this year. Toronto Raptors are leading the division right now, and that's not going to last very long. Nets have been playing really well. They're also winning. They're in 2nd place right now, so they're only a couple games away from overtaking the division against the Toronto Raptors. They're playing tonight against the Golden State Warriors. By the time you're watching this game's probably already going on or wrapping up right now. Maybe after the game I might come back and talk about the game, but I'm highly unlikely. Steph Curry is one of the best young players. They're just very fun to watch. So I can't wait to watch them because obviously they're playing on the West Coast majority of the time, and I'm passing out to go to work the next day, so I don't get to see them as often. So it's definitely going to be fun to see them. Just a young, fun team being able to score at any given moment of any time, any place on the court, and that's fun to see. A lot of people are jumping on their bandwagon, especially that last couple of years with Steph Curry, but I'm definitely one of them, and I hope they play well. And with the Nets playing how they've been playing, God knows how bad it could be. But the Nets can keep fighting and find a way to fight. It could be a close game, but you never know with the Brooklyn Nets this year. Deron Williams is supposed to be, he's a game-time decision with his ankles. They found out that it wasn't damaging, so he might be out for a couple more days, but he's not prolonging long period of time. Brook Lopez is unfortunately done for the year, and they got some cap money for this remaining of the year, so they're able to replace him. So it's going to be interesting to see who the Nets do pick up and to fill a very big void in the Nets organization. Let's see what New York basketball can do next week. Hockey. New York Rangers play tonight against the Chicago Blackhawks in Chicago. It's going to be a fun game. The Rangers have been playing pretty decent as of late. The typical win one, lose one, win another one. As long as the Rangers are getting points, it's okay right now. Chris Kreider has been playing out of his mind. Henrik Lundqvist has been getting a little bit better. He's had his moments. The Rangers scored 7 goals on Saturday night, so that was great to see. And then the next night they don't score anything. So that's just goes to show you how Jekyll and Hyde that Ranger unit is. Tonight they're going to have their money's worth against the defending Stanley Cup champions in the Chicago Blackhawks. Hopefully Hank's on his head tonight and keep the goal scoring to a minimum and have the Rangers key players find a way to light the lamp. Nash is finally getting on. He scored a couple goals the other night, which is great to see, especially him being out on a concussion for the last couple of weeks. Let's see, who else? Derek Stefan, who's got elected to the U.S. Olympic team. Congratulations to him. Ryan McDonough and Ryan Callahan for making the U.S. Olympic team. 2 out of the 3 were no shockers. The only person that was shocking was Stefan, because there were other players that were invaluable to making the team, but he is a good centerman, so you can never have enough of those. So all 3 definitely deserving to represent the red, white, and blue this year. The biggest snub on Islander land is Kyle Oposo not being named to the Olympic team. He's the second most point scorer in the American-born point scorer right now in this season. You could tell this roster was made up before the season even started because he would have easily made the team if it was anybody else. The Islanders are playing a lot better right now. It's typical. It might be a little too late, but the Islanders are finally getting heated up. Unfortunately, Nabokov got hurt the other night, so God knows how long he's going to be out for. It says indefinitely, so you don't know how that can trickle down. Tavares had a hat trick the other night, which is good to see. The captain getting ready to play for Team Canada, so God knows how amped up he's ready to be, since he is Captain Canada when he was a junior a couple years back. The Islanders' defense has been playing solid as of late as well. The whole team's been playing well. They're finally getting their feet under them and finally getting the wins that they needed. Very impressive. With Jugs, they're 3-0. The typical Jugs should be the full-time play-by-play guy. That's the running joke. Howie Rose is not lucky, if you believe that. Yes or no, whatever. Here and there. It's up to the Islanders. Coaching staff right now I still don't like them, but they're playing for them right now, and they're getting they're getting those goals when they need them, and in bunches, and that they're fun to watch when they're able to play like they have been playing the last couple of games. So hopefully they keep it up. Up to my favorite sport now, NFL playoffs. Last weekend was a very fun weekend. Unfortunately, I was 1-3. There were 2 epic losses. I did pick the Eagles. I thought they were going to find a way to pull out the win at home against the Saints, who were not good at all year long on the road. The Saints just, even with Drew Brees' worst game, they still found a way to win and took care of business, so kudos to them. The Bengals, even as much as Andy Dalton has hurt the Bengals, I thought they were going to be able to pull out the win. On paper, they're a much better team than the Chargers, but we all know that wasn't fruition. Andy Dalton's a mess. That's all I got to say about that game. Phillip Rivers and the whole Chargers staff team played their butts off, and they dominated. There was A.J. Green was nowhere to be found. Dalton was just throwing passes out of nowhere, just to coverage where no one was open at all. It was just one of those scratch your heads. And if I was the Bengals fan base, I'd be very upset right now. They haven't had a win in God knows how long, and almost 20 years, they said. So that's really scary to see. On to the biggest. Well, the last 2 games were big. Great game 1, great game 1B. I'm going to go first off with the Colts-Chiefs game. I was actually down in AC this weekend watching, while hanging out with our friends, me and my girlfriend's friends. We were like, alright, Chiefs have it, don't worry about it. We get on, I go to one of my friends' rooms, I got an alert that the Colts about to tie it up. I'm like, put it on the TV now. We all put it on the TV. It was just one of those crazy, I remember when the Colts beat the Chiefs after coming back from 28 points, tying the greatest comeback in NFL history. So Andrew Luck pulled it out of his butt. That one of those miracle plays, or the fumble, he was able to pick it up and had the knowledge of running it into the end zone. Where 9 out of 10 plays, you're just falling down on the ball, and you're just looking for another life, sort of thing. Then there's the T.Y. Hilton, unstoppable the whole entire game. You're kind of surprised that the Chiefs let them use T.Y. Hilton, not stopping him. They didn't have anybody else really to throw to the whole entire time. So it's interesting to see Andrew Luck is one of a kind, and you know the minute they Colts drafted him that he was going to be the franchise quarterback for 15 years, hopefully, if he stays healthy. It was very refreshing to see. Unfortunately, the Chiefs had a great year, and it had to end on that note. Alex Smith played his ass off, and he's showing the doubters that he's not just a game manager. He's able to turn things around and be able to kick butt. And they didn't have Jamal Charles, and they had another huge game out of their backup, back-to-back weeks. And you got to tip their hat. Granted, it's not the way they want to end the season, especially on how epically they collapsed in the second half. But you got to tip your hat to them for having a great year after being the first pick overall last year, being the worst team in the league. Then the best game of the week, you had to go with the below sub-zero temperatures in the Packers 49ers game. My Super Bowl pick are the San Francisco 49ers back in August. So I was so happy to see them pull out the win in Green Bay. It was a lot of ups and downs. Colin Kaepernick had it going the whole game. He owns the Green Bay Packers, which I said last week. Even in sub-zero temperatures, he still did his thing. Of course, you would like them to score more touchdowns than kick field goals, but in that temperature, any points you can get are good. Aaron Rodgers is a stud on Green Bay's territory. It was close the whole entire game, and you got to just tip your hat to the 49ers finding a way to pull it out. This week coming up, another fun 2 days of NFL football for the playoffs for the divisional round. We got the Colts-Patriots at the 8 o'clock on Saturday night. And we got the Colts-Patriots. That's going to be a fun game. It's going to be interesting to see how Belichick and Tom are ready to pull out the wins with that. With that being said, Andrew Luck has that horseshoe blaring around the whole Colts mantra of just being able to find ways to pull it out. And it's going to be interesting to see what happens. The Patriots are the evil empire, but they have lost divisional rounds before after having the bye week. But just Saturday night, prime time, we've seen it before. The Jets did come back and beat them a couple years ago. But this is a completely different team. The Patriots are bullseyeing T.Y. Hilton and Andrew Luck the whole entire time. We've seen it before. We've seen teams come flying high coming into Foxborough, and they get destroyed by the Patriots. They were my Super Bowl pick as well as the 49ers. I have the Patriots beating the Colts, even though the Colts are going to give everything they got. The Patriots are going to win. Alright, next AFC game, that's going to be Sunday at 4. The Broncos versus the San Diego Chargers. A little rematch, the grudge match of two AFC West teams. You got to go with the Broncos. No matter how hot the Chargers have been, you know the Chargers are going to find a way to win. I'm just feeling it right now, but I'm going with Broncos. It's Peyton's time. He needs to win the Super Bowl. It is his time to shine. Just with that offense clicking full cylinders, Wes Welker's going to be back from the concussion. It's going to be interesting to see how the Broncos and Chargers match up. Last time the Chargers played in Mile High, they pulled up that Thursday night win in in Mile High. So it's going to be interesting. I think the Broncos are going to pull out the win. Steve actually has the Chargers with the upset. Unfortunately, I have it in my work email, but I think he said he wanted the Chargers. He just has that feeling that the Chargers are the hot team, and they're going to do what the last couple years, the hot team coming in against the bye week team. I have the Broncos. I think Steve has the Pats on that. In the first game. The AFC matchups. The first game on Saturday is the Seahawks versus the Saints. Legion of Boom versus a very good caliber passing attack of Drew Brees and all his arsenal. It's going to be a loud, raucous crowd in the 12th. The 12th man's going to be blaring its ugly head. You see Sean Payton spray paint the practice fields in Seahawk colors and making it feel at home. That's all nonsense. It is what it is. They did get embarrassed there Monday night a few months ago, and honestly, they played a great game against the Phillies. Against the Eagles. It's not happening again. If the Saints win again, they're going to the Super Bowl and winning it. That's how lucky they are right now, kind of thing. Just the Legion of Boom is going to be amped up, ready to go, looking to get some picks. Marshawn Lynch is going to be able to run the ball on the Saints defense. Granted, the Saints defense has been better with Rob Ryan as the D coordinator, but it's still not enough. Unfortunately, Russell Wilson's going to throw a couple of deep balls. He's going to find open receivers. And you don't know. Percy Harvin has practice this week, and maybe he might decoy a couple plays. You never know. I'm just going to go with the Seahawks, and we're going to get the Seahawks-49ers matchup, which obviously I didn't get to talk about the the 49ers-Panthers, but that game's going to be a sick game. That's at 1 o'clock on Sunday in Carolina. It's going to be, you don't know what to expect in that kind of matchup. I'm just going with the 49ers because they've been there, done that, and they are the hotter team right now. Would you be shocked if the Panthers win? Absolutely not. They're the home team. They earn the right to get that bye week. But you haven't seen Cam Newton play that kind of important game since his NCAA championship game against, who did they play that year? They played Oregon for that championship. That's right. They played Oregon a couple years back. So it's going to be interesting to see. You both have two awesome quarterbacks going at it. It's going to be a gunslinger matchup who's going to be able to carry the most load. I think the battle-tested Niners are going to find a way to pull it out. Steve had the Niners as well. Steve also had the Seahawks. With that being said, I hope everybody enjoys their football on all overall sports New York scene. We will be back next Thursday. Hopefully Steve's all tanned and refreshed and ready to go. Hope everybody enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Have a good weekend. Later.